or Seinfeld? Which is better? That's been the biggest debate in sitcom history.
When people ask what was the best TV show in the late 90s, well, there actually were a few contenders.
But these two shows, Friends and Seinfeld, were actually a bit of a rival to each other. Majority of fans either saying Seinfeld was better than Friends, or Friends were better than Seinfeld. But after watching both these shows, and going through all the episodes they both have, we have to wonder, did Friends copy Seinfeld?
But of course, both shows are unique in their own ways with their different storylines, their characters, how they just go about the whole show in general.
I mean, the common similarity between these two is that both of them have groups of friends that they hang out together at a cafe every day. They live in New York City.
And the fact that they each blow off their works or just don't work at all.
Because you're all hanging around here at 11:30 on a Wednesday.
First of all, we'll start off with the character similarities. Jerry reminds me a lot about Monica from Friends.
Because they both are clean freaks. Jerry a bit more of a germ freak than a clean freak, but still similar traits.
And obviously the whole central show is filmed in their room.
Kind of like Friends, how they always film it in their apartment.
Yes, that also leads to me thinking that Joey
And Chandler. Well,
and Chandler,
but mainly Joey.
is a lot like Kramer, who lives right across the road from, right across the room from,
right across the hall.
that's it, right across the hall from Monica, and always comes over and steals her food. Somewhat like what Kramer does with Jerry.
I mean, this could be very just coincidental, a basic sitcom trait. But there are a few other details that make us think, did they really copy from Seinfeld?
Considering Seinfeld came out around about 5 years before Friends, it did give Friends a lot of time to, I'm not gonna say steal any ideas from Seinfeld, but maybe more like
Copy the same comedic plot.
or just take some little gimmicks from the episodes to just sort of use in their own way.
He killed. He only does well when he has me for a lead-in. He's a time slot head.
There's been a lot of times we've watched Friends and said, that's something that they did in Seinfeld. Here are a few comparisons where we picked up that was a Seinfeld reference.
A donation has been made in your name to the New York City Ballet.
This holiday season, a donation has been made in your name to the Children's Alliance.
A donation has been made in your name to the New York City Ballet.
Here is a little something for you.
And if somebody objects, you can just veto it.
Stewart.
No, second choice.
How about Dayton?
Vito. Stewart.
Vito? Sawyer?
Vito. Hi. Ken Adams. Nice to meet you.
Regina Phalange. Mr. Pennypacker, this is Mr. Vandelay, and you know Mr. Varnson.
Varnson. Pennypacker.
Vandelay. Pennypacker. Varnson.
Vandelay.
We will call you back.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
First one, which was definitely a direct reference, was when Ross said,
No more falafel for you!
obviously a direct reference to,
Nothing for you!
This lady looks like a clear inspiration for Janice.
When is Jerry going to see the baby?
Like to say hello to his future bride.
and isn't it also something else to point out that a lot of the actors played in both shows? George did a cameo in one of the Friends episodes.
And Monica did another
full episode
of Jerry and Seinfeld.
What happened to us, Jerry?
I'll tell you what happened. We got married.
The Janice character played in Seinfeld before Friends even aired.
He didn't really try to poison his boss. Yeah, he did.
I swear, Mr. Heckles was just part of the same universe on both shows. He crossed into the Seinfeld show to play that Kramer character.
Oh, I'll be comfortable.
Ugly Naked Men was definitely a gag that ran through almost the entire series of Friends.
Ooh, look, ugly naked guy lit a bunch of candles.
In one of the flashback episodes, they said that Ugly Naked Man was actually handsome naked guy.
Cute naked guy's really starting to put on weight.
That made me realize that they might have taken inspiration from this particular episode.
There's a naked woman across the street. Second floor from the top. See the window on the left?
Who walks around the house like that?
Beautiful naked woman across the street, ugly naked man across the street. Very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it might not be enough to convince you that Friends ripped off Seinfeld. Here are a few more.
How much longer is it gonna be?
About 5-10 minutes.
We have a reservation under the name Chandler Bing.
Okay, we'll have a table for you in about 45 minutes.
We're making this movie. We gotta get a table immediately.
All right, look it. Let's stop fooling around. Let's just slip him some money.
You need to give him money.
Give him money. It was a joke.
If there's anything you can do to get us a table, we'd really appreciate it.
Listen, we're in a little bit of a hurry, so if you could get us a table a little quicker, I'd appreciate it.
I got you an apartment in this building.
No.
Yes.
You didn't.
I did.
And if you're looking for a place, I just heard in the elevator this morning that a woman in my building died.
You remember Mrs. Hud Walker, the 94-year-old woman who lived above me?
No.
She died?
She died?
She died!
She died!
You can live with me.
What? What? Are you at all concerned that living in the same building will, cramp our styles? Because I was worried that there might be a situation in which one of us came home with somebody who could get a little uncomfortable.
Eventually, you and I are going to be dating.
Really, we are.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have a boyfriend. You're going to have a girlfriend.
But as long as you're okay with it, it's fine with me.
But you know what? If you think it's going to be okay, we'll just work out a system.
This truly has been a Scarsdale surprise.
And I'm sure that Jessica would like to thank my parents.
Good morning, gentlemen. And Tony says hello to you.
You didn't give that thing back?
Look what I won!
Oh my God, you stole her award.
You get up in the morning, she's there. You go to sleep at night, she's there.
If you live with Phoebe, she's always going to be there. You're going to get home, she's there. You go to bed, she's there. You wake up, and oh yes, she's there.
George Louis Costanza, that's not you, is it?
Yes.
860,000! I can't believe it's still standing!
I'm buying the Frogger machine.
I got you a present! It's the Miss Pac-Man machine!
And I got all the top 10 scores. I erased Phoebe off the board. High five. No. If you unplug it, I'll have nothing to show for my day. It'll be like I was at work.
Once you unplug the machine, all the scores will be erased. Hi, Sophie. It's me.
Hey, Rafe.
She thinks it's someone named Rafe.
Good, let her think it.
So what's going on?
I ended up meeting a guy.
Bob here.
Oh, how are things with Jerry?
So, you met someone, huh?
I've never seen you mad.
I get peeved.
That story doesn't make you cry?
No, look, I don't cry. It's not a big deal.
Harry, you break up with a girl every week.
What is this salty discharge?
Oh my God, you're crying.
Oh my God, are you crying?
I'll take a box of the cream-filled Jesuses. 1 box? Come on, I'm trying to send a poor little girl to space camp.
I'll never get to Hawaii.
You can't let this dream die.
What are you proposing?
Whatever it takes, for as long as it takes me, wherever it takes me, as long as it takes you away from me. There you go.
Massapequa, it sounds like a magical place. Tell me about Massapequa. Is it steeped in Native American history?
And you must be Jerry, Lord of the Manor. My liege, a pleasure to serve you.
Then what do we do about Denise? Who's Denise? My roommate.
Bob Sacamano, he stayed with me once for a year and a half.
When do you think you're gonna get out of here?
Where did you get those?
At the movie?
Didn't the theater manager give you the message before you went in? Then when did you get those?
Right after that.
When you beat me, I was online at the concession stand at the movie theater.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
I don't want to give up the bag.
No.
Get these drops in your eyes!
Oh my God, you really are freakishly strong.
Just swallow them.
I don't want to.
Come on, just sit down.
Jerry, what?
Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Open it.
Okay, so what do you think, ladies? Who wouldn't be interested? Who wouldn't want to date him?
Well, the divorces don't bother me. I'd date him, but not while he's still married.
What if I told you my fiance left me for another man? Does that make me more likable, less likable, as likable?
More. Less.
Same.
Are we about through here?
Now, this may seem like another vague example, but how about the time that Kramer wanted to impress a girl by getting a tan, and then he accidentally got himself over-tanned in the solarium?
I see a damn fool.
Sort of similar to when Ross just wanted to randomly get a tan, and they gave him too many shades of the same spray, and he was like extra, extra dark.
I went to that tanning place your wife suggested.
Was that place The Sun?
And what about the episode where Jerry bets Kramer that he couldn't fit into jeans anymore, and he puts them on and he couldn't get them off because they were too tight?
Jerry, you gotta help me.
What's wrong?
I can't get my pants off.
Wait, Jerry. Wait a minute.
Man, these are tight.
Similar to the episode to where Ross buys leather pants that were really tight and he couldn't get them off.
I can't get them back on, Joey. I can't.
Another vague reference, but still, we're starting to see a bit of a pattern here of all these similar references.
I remember that time that Kramer adopted a chicken.
Hey.
Is that your chicken making all that noise?
Oh, Jerry loves the morning.
Only for Joey to also adopt a chicken.
The chick, she's going through some changes.
What kind of changes?
The vet seems to think that she's becoming a rooster.
But that is not a chicken.
Of course it is.
Oh, you picked out a rooster.
Well, that would explain little Jerry's poor egg production.
Out of all the animals they could have picked, they had to pick a chicken. I'm just saying.
And how about how Kramer let the whole place get robbed?
They were stolen.
Stolen?
Someone left the door open.
You left the door open?
Sort of like how Joey let his whole place got robbed.
What happened? Oh, man, he promised he wouldn't take the chairs. What the hell happened? How are you locked in there? Where the hell's all of our stuff?
Coincidence? Also, I want to mention, you know how Ross also says it's karate?
Look, I studied karate.
How about when Kramer said it?
When I first studied karate,
It's a state of total awareness.
karate is not here. It's here, and here, and here.
And the state of awareness sort of seems similar.
And another Kramer-Joey similarity. Both of them, at one stage of the show, had kidney stones.
I got a stone. What stone? A kidney stone.
I'm afraid you've got kidney stones.
Well, what else could it be?
It's kidney stones or kidney stones.
Also, another thing, Kramer also had Mr. Marbles,
I mean, this thing is really freaking me out.
which really reminded me of Phoebe's picture.
He wants me to get rid of Gladys. Who's Gladys?
Probably a bit vague, but still.
Mr. Marbles? Gladys?
But if you're still not convinced, these are the episodes we saw a direct copy from Seinfeld. Number 1, Joey's man bag.
Really? A purse? Are you referring to my man's bag?
How was it that Seinfeld also did an episode where he was carrying a purse?
You know what? We sell this thing at Peterman that would be perfect for you. It's a small men's carry-all.
Nice carry-all.
It's European.
Someone took my European carry-all!
You mean a purse?
Yes, a purse!
Number 2. I'm gonna call it the Susie Chandler incident because their both episodes are exactly the same. Chandler is called a different name. What's his name in that one? I don't remember. But either way, he was called a different name by a colleague, and instead of correcting him to stick with it and pretend he was this character.
Can you tell me where this Chandler Bing's office is?
Yeah, it's right down.
Sort of similar to Elaine, who was called by another colleague Susie.
Thanks, Susie. Susie. Susie.
Look, I should have said this
Did
yesterday,
you get this memo from Elaine Bennis?
Yeah, see that?
No, it's amazing Peterman hasn't fired that dolt.
I'm the reason you can get the job up here.
And instead of correcting her colleague, she once again pretended to be the Susie character.
I heard she was a disaster, Suze.
It's not Suze, all right? It's Susie. My name is Susie.
Toby, don't. Bob, Toby.
Number 3. Janice was married to a man who was claimed himself as the mattress king. And he had a commercial that kept getting into everyone's head.
I'm going medieval on prices!
Does this sound a little bit too familiar to the time that Elaine dated someone called The Wiz?
The Wiz is slashing prices on our entire stock. Nobody beats me because I'm The Wiz! Yes, I'm The Wiz! I'm The Wiz!
That is the guy. Elaine's in love with the whiz guy?
And how about this little similarity? When Jerry and Elaine notice that a particular friend couple of theirs are separating or getting a divorce, they try and sneak in there to help them out, trying to make them fall in love with Elaine and Jerry.
I'm there for you. Maybe I could do better.
3 years is a long time to be married.
Am I happy Beth left me? Of course not.
Do I think there's a future here? I don't see why not.
That's somewhat similar to when Ross and Phoebe did the same for another friend of theirs that was going through a messy relationship.
Well, I don't think we are gonna have that problem, but maybe that's just because I am not emotionally unavailable.
You think he's emotionally unavailable?
I think he can be.
We want the last 6 years back! So do we!
But the number 1 incident where we realized that Friends may have been copying Seinfeld was this episode. Chandler hires a maid that did such an amazing job that Monica loves her.
I love her.
Until she thinks she may have stolen her pair of jeans.
She stole my jeans.
This reminded me so much of this Seinfeld episode.
Your palace shall sparkle like the stars in heaven upon your...
Yeah, toilet brushes under the sink.
I think that's a statue from my house.
How is it that they both hired maids or cleaners that did such an amazing job?
He cleaned out the bottom of the little egg cups. He Windexed the little people.
This tile cleaner is incredible.
I love her.
Until they claim they stole something. I saw that and I'm like, did Friends just copy Seinfeld? Granted, you can't tell at the surface, but once you start seeing this similarity, then that similarity, plus all the similarities that we've mentioned, you really have to wonder, did Friends copy Seinfeld?
I guess we'll never know. So what do you think? Do you think these similarities are purely just coincidental?
Or do you think they actually stole from Seinfeld? Are there any more similarities that you can think of? Let us know down in the comments.
Until then, we'll see you in our next video. Bye!